Hello, Leo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Leo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Leo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with the Empress card. You are someone who is very nurturing and nourishing to other things in your life right now. Okay? This is the card of giving. Yeah. And I think that you're somebody who's very generous with your time, effort, energy, money. I think that you probably have things in your life that you take care of, right? That's the energy that's being emphasized by Spirit right now. What are the things in your life that you take care of? People, places, things, ideas, energies, your pets, your plants, your people, right? Sometimes the Empress doesn't always know when to direct some of that nurturing self-care to self, right? To direct that energy back in towards self. I think you're somebody who I feel like a lot of people rely on you. Okay, maybe at work, at home, at school, in your personal, professional lives. There are a lot of people that depend on your generosity, okay, directly or indirectly. It could be people literally asking you for things, or it could be that they are in some way, have become a little bit dependent on you for certain things, whether maybe emotional support, maybe financial support. We need to put this card into a little bit of context to see where your energy is going, what you're nurturing, what you're taking care of, what you are giving. To see the Empress will give the blood, sweat, and tears to whatever it cares about, right? Needs to make sure that some of that energy comes back. So let's see what's going on here, okay? We're going to use our Dove and Serpent spread. You got a 5 of Swords, okay. You have an Ace of Pentacles. You got a 5 of Wands back here. I feel that there is some kind of unresolved conflict, pain, some kind of something, right, from the past that's kind of like resurfacing now. Okay, 5 and 5. Here we have a Prince of Cups. We have the Fool. Great. The Fool is kind of like, this is something that is you releasing that energy. Okay? And perhaps that 5 of Swords is kind of saying, like, we have to face whatever this conflict was. This was a fight. This was a beef. This was a disagreement. This is some kind of contention. Perhaps facing it now. Anytime we get a 5, right, we start looking for the 4. We start looking for the resolution. Here we have a 7 of Pentacles, an 8 of Pentacles, a Prince, another Prince, Prince of Wands, and a Knight of Wands. The Prince of Wands is your superpower card, Leo. And it's in the position of the fear, worry, concern, anxiety, or obstacle. And I think that whatever this unresolved thing is it's kind of preventing you from moving into your kind of authentic self energy, It's getting in the way of things that you're really trying to do in life. Okay, feels like this is something that needs to be resolved. Okay, let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We'll just set it right over here with Bubo, the mechanical owl, right on top. And we're not going to release that Kraken until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you may know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments section down below the video. All right. Now, as we look around the room, we see our two major arcana energies. We see the Empress kind of being, I don't know, maybe I feel like you're the leader of the family, or you're kind of the very generous boss energy, some kind of a leader. And I feel like the Fool is really releasing you from this conflict, this burden. It feels like there's some kind of unresolved issue from the past that's been resurfacing now in your conversations. Something's been triggering that energy again, maybe even coming through dreams. We do have a Prince of Cups here, dreams or synchronicities or something like that, that past wound is coming back again. And it feels to me with that Empress, it doesn't feel like a work thing. It feels like an old relationship or a family wound that's asking for your attention one last time, facing it directly, perhaps allowing forgiveness, allowing some kind of resolution, taking the 5 of Swords to a 4, right, is being called for now. And I think that release, as we then move into the Fool energy, who's free of the baggage, right? Freedom, lightness, light as a feather, kind of allows you to move forward again in some way, some other aspect of your life, to begin new things with kind of that, without that anchor being there for you. Does that make sense? Because then we see on the path of the Dove, and we'll get into the cards individually, but we see, the kind of the lack of movement, or some stagnation, or something that hasn't really been growing. Then we see growth. Then we see fiery activity. We see your superpower card, and we see new beginnings. Okay? We see you rushing into new things, whether these are more personal things, or whether this is you picking up speed and momentum in your career or your creative efforts, being free of this wound or this baggage or this unresolved thing. Okay? Facing it directly will allow for forgiveness, either with the other person or just within yourself too. It doesn't mean that we have to then call the person up and say, hey, come over, let's have a conversation. Maybe that's it, but it doesn't have to be. But I think by you looking at it and addressing it within yourself and understanding how it is that you need closure. What do you need in order to let this go and be fully free of it, right? Fully free of that energy. Okay, it's going to really allow you to pick up speed and momentum in a lot of other areas of your life. Maybe even this thing here, if this is a family, emotional, relationship kind of thing, it's going to help you pick up speed and momentum and clear some blockages in your career, or even your health, or your physical, your creativity, or your finances. Okay, in the physical realm. Yeah. So anyway, we have our majors. We have fire, fire, fire. You've got the water up here, and the water seems to be a major influence, a major presence, because it's at the top here. It's something you're consciously looking at. Of course, we have the air right in the middle, and we've got a lot of earth cards. Okay, so with the earth and water, it feels like there is maybe a family thing going on. The 5 of Swords, of course, is the conflict sort of returning. To me, it still feels like an anchor. Okay, now I want you to hit the like button if this is resonating with you a little bit already. Let me know you're still here, okay? The 5 of Swords is something that is still causing stress. And I think that you're being reminded of this issue repeatedly, either again through dreams or conversations, or even through some kind of some kind of synchronicities, or something is triggering that frustration, anger, that conflict. That 5 of Wands energy is being recalled from the past in your present life. Okay? And so as you are kind of acting in this Empress manner, now it's not gender specific, but you're the one that is providing for others, and a lot of other people depend on you. I think a lot of those dependents, so to speak, are kind of triggering something in you, okay? And maybe something keeps reminding you of this thing that's going on, or that was going on, that never got resolved, never got finished, okay? whether it's some kind of a falling out you had with a family member, a fight that never really got settled, whether it's an old relationship that you never fully let go of, okay? And I think that, we would expect to see a queen of something here, right? But we don't. We see the princes, which are acting in the present. We see the knight that is ready to go to the future. So without the queen is the energy that looks in the past and tries to process an ending of something. I feel like that energy's not here. I feel like that's what we really need. So I'm kind of invoking a queen for our mystery card because I feel like there's something from the past that needs to be processed, needs to be resolved, let go of, forgiven, whatever you want to call it. Because I think that there is either some questions that you still have, some answers that you're still looking for, or there's still some animosity. There's still a wound there. Okay. Under the surface, we see an Ace of Pentacles, and I feel like this is the step that you are like really wanting to take, needing to take. But something's kind of holding you, it's like an anchor, holding you back from taking the step forward that you need to take. So it may be that you're wanting to step into a new relationship, like somewhere deep inside of you, you're ready to step into a new relationship, to leap into something new that's passionate, that's energetic, that is, that's real, that resonates with you. But there's something holding you back, something preventing you from taking this step. Okay? And I don't think that this is the step as in finding closure. This is the path that you want to begin in your life. Whether this is maybe a creative thing, a career thing, I feel like this has more to do with kind of moving on to new relationships or finding new love or just deeper peace in your life. Okay? Something's preventing you from taking this step, and so to me feels like there's stagnation. Of course, when we take that step, adding an ace to a 7, what do we get? We get the 8. The 8 of Pentacles, okay? So I feel like the ace down here is that step that you want to take, and maybe there's a question about why you've been unable to really make that move and take this, because this is a leap, right? This is a really big impulse, kind of trust, just rushing into something new, moving forward with such gusto and such enthusiasm in life. And maybe it's like you really want to do that, but we're not sure what is holding us back. I think we're starting to get an idea of what this is. Okay. Big shout out to everybody that listens to this show in their car, like it's a podcast. I love that. I get that in the comments a lot. People doing other things while they're listening, and so I appreciate you all. Okay. The 5 of Wands in the background. This is that fight. This is that contention. And we have a little Saturn in Leo here, so it feels like there's some kind of a restriction. It feels like your Leo energy was blocked by something. So maybe you feel that somebody like wronged you or interfered with you, or somebody kind of got in the way in some manner, or I wonder if it's even that somebody took advantage of you, like took advantage of your generosity, took advantage of your giving nature, your willingness to be the strong one to support everybody. Somebody you found out was like lying to you, or they took advantage, or they stole from you maybe. I feel like there is kind of a theft, but I don't know if it's literally like they stole something, but they stole like your time, your effort, your energy, your money, or your space. Okay? And I feel that is something that has never really been like rectified or even addressed properly. And I feel that this is the real anchor that's kind of haunting you from the past there. This is an energy of fight. This is a fight energy. And maybe this is a fight that you never had. Okay? Maybe there's something that's always been just kind of kicking you because you never had the fight that you should have had. And I don't mean we're going to go to fisticuffs. I don't think you're going to blows. But it's like it's releasing that frustrated feeling. Yeah, it's kind of like, you never took the opportunity to be honest about how you felt or to confront the person or address it. Maybe this was a conflict that you avoided. Okay, and maybe this was something where it's just like, well, I'll just walk away, but it's still it still feels like it's stuck in your craw. Yeah, so it could be different things, of course, but this is something that doesn't feel settled. Okay, it doesn't feel like there's been resolution. Again, anytime you get a 5, you start looking around for the 4, because you think, okay, where's the stability? Where's the resolution? Where's the rest? Where's the calm? Where's the truce? Where's the completion, right? Where is the safety and stability? Okay, there's a lot of kind of hectic energy around this. It's never really been settled. So I feel like this is kind of an anchor that's still holding you back here. Also, big shout out to everybody that buys me the coffees. I've been drinking more coffee lately. If you've noticed, I've eased back into it. I stopped drinking coffee for a while, for a couple months. Then I switched into the green tea, and now I'm doing just one cup of coffee in the morning, kind of before and during some of my readings here. I'm trying to be responsible about it. Anyway, the Prince of Cups at the top here, that's a card of authenticity. So first thing it says to me is that you never had a chance to really express how you felt in that situation. If somebody stole something from you, lied to you, cheated you in some way, took advantage of you, whatever that was that kind of causes this anger, this frustration, I feel like you never really had the chance to express it properly. You never vented it. You never got it out. You never confronted or faced that problem in a completed way, all right? And so it's something that's kind of left lingering in a way. The Prince of Cups is also a card that might see the value in forgiveness, not for the sake of the other person, not enabling them or condoning their behavior, but forgiveness for you, so you can move on, right? And facing it directly right now is going to allow you that kind of forgiveness. So you can be free. So you can step into this fully free, full energy, and you can, invite the new love. You can go out and seek that deeper peace or connection, or that new path in life, that step you want to take. You're going to be kind of free. It's like right now there's too much baggage. Right now there's too much weight on the plane. The plane can't take off, So this is something that you need to shed. Okay. Let me know in the comments what aspect of this is resonating the most with you. Okay. And tell me I release in the comments. Let's release this energy, and let's set the intention to find the closure here so that you can free yourself from this. Okay? This is the card of that authenticity. This is the card of your authentic self, that inner truth, really, that needs to be addressed. You need to face, you need to look within and understand, like, how you really feel about this situation, and look to see how and where and why it's still bothering you, or it's still there, or if there has been triggers or synchronicities or reminders or dreams or something that sort of bring this energy back up. Why now? Okay, and what is it that your soul is really trying to say to you about this situation? Because maybe it was a long time ago, and maybe you hadn't thought about it until now. Well, maybe now there's something very wonderful that you're ready to begin, right? With our Ace of Pentacles, you want to begin something that's really lovely, but now there's something blocking you from doing that. And so it's kind of like it's triggering all this stuff again to show you that it hasn't been resolved, and you're not going to be able to leap into the new thing until we address this. Okay, so this is the card of inner truth. This is the card of being able to really, truly look at what's inside of you and express that energy. And again, I'm kind of getting this feeling like your true self, your authentic self, was blocked in some way by that person or that situation. I don't know who they are. If I had to venture a guess, I might say Scorpio. Nothing against Scorpio people. This is a Scorpio card. And I kind of feel that there's something about that Prince of Cups up here that is that's standing out pretty significantly. So it may be that they're a Scorpio person, or maybe just a water sign person generally. I think it's somebody about your age. It feels like it's a male energy. But anyway, moving forward into the Fool card. This is that release. This is that kind of, well, just that lightness. You know, it's kind of like, it's the Fool has completely shed all of the energy that's been attached to it. And it's just a big fat zero again, returning to 0 point, where every possibility is open for you. And nothing is holding you back from any of those. Maybe the Ace of Pentacles isn't anything specific. Maybe this is Spirit's way of saying, look, you're not going to be able to really kind of make free and clear progress until you release the stuff that's been holding you down. Think of an anchor. Think of these, balls and chains tied to your ankles, dragging them with you, for so long. To be free of that kind of reminds me of a Christmas. What is it? A Christmas Carol? Is that with Ebenezer Scrooge? Yeah. The ghost of Christmas past, right? With all the chains and weights that they're dragging through, I guess, life or the afterlife. Anyway, this is something that you can release. And with like when you're carrying like a heavy backpack around for the day. Sometimes I got a heavy backpack. My backpack's probably like 40 pounds. Carrying that throughout the day, right? When you finally take it off, you almost feel like gravity isn't there. Like you feel like you're going to just kind of float up into outer space, because you feel so much lighter now. And it's like you're not used to it. That's kind of what the Fool is like. This is really a bounding energy that just feels like it's like you're on lunar gravity instead of Earth gravity. And it's going to feel just so much. I feel like a weight's being lifted from your chest. I feel like your feet are skipping around so much lighter. I feel like you're doing that thing where you swing up to the side and you click your heels, It really is a happy energy. It's happy, it's free, it's light. It's playful, Let me know in the comments if this feels good to you. If this is worth it, right? Whether this means you have to have a conversation or you have to kind of ask yourself, sit with it in yourself and ask yourself the questions and really meditate on it. Whether you have to go talk to somebody else and do it, whether you got to cry, whether you got to rage out, whether you got to tear your pillow up, like a cartoon, there's feathers everywhere. You do what you got to do to get rid of this. And maybe it's symbolic, maybe it's a ritual release. Okay, this is freedom. This is now you're free to move about the universe. The restriction is being lifted from you and you're free to move about the universe. That's what Fool does. The Fool in the universe, the Alpha and the Omega, right? This is your essential self. The universe, maybe the mystery card will be the universe card. The universe card is your field of play. It's your playground. You're the Fool and the universe is your playground, okay? Let's talk about the path of the serpent. Hit that subscribe button for me while we're here, okay? It's a wonderful way to support the channel. It's free, and I really cherish that support, and I'm so grateful for it. The Seven of Pentacles is your general energy right now, and that is because there are things in your life that are not growing. It feels like something's been restricted. Again, this is another Saturn energy. Okay, and it's Saturn and Taurus, so I feel like the steady progress that you're trying to make is somehow being blocked, restricted, or closed off, or there's a limitation being put on it. There's a restriction or a boundary there. So there's some place in your life, maybe it's in relationships. Maybe you find that you're not able to really grow and blossom this healthy relationship, and we're wondering why. This is a card of failure, okay? Is the card that says, we always get up to a certain point, and then I just can't get past that. And why is there that blockage there? Why is it that you take a certain amount of steps, and then you run into that brick wall, and that's as far as I go? Okay? Sound off in the comments if this is speaking to you, okay? And let me know you're still with me. All right. So I think that whether this is in business or creativity or friendships or relationships or in family stuff or just you feeling like that in life with any relationship, that it gets to a certain point and then it kind of goes south. Okay? And I'm not saying you're self-sabotaging, but I am saying that there is this unresolved thing from the past that as soon as you get to a certain point in any kind of relationship, it kind of yanks you back and says, no, that's as far as you go. Okay? And so if this is a past love relationship, that is still attached to you energetically. It's preventing you from having the very full and fruitful relationship that you really wish to have. Now, the Eight of Pentacles is in the position of the environment, the position of your relationships themselves. Yeah. And this is the kind of relationship that we want. This is the sun in Virgo, right? This is a plant. This is a garden that is being nourished and cultivated and grown beautifully. Okay, it's kind of like the Empress is looking at their garden and thinking, "Why isn't my garden growing? Why can't I seem to get anything past this stage of growth?" Okay, and well, I think that there's this wound from the past that's preventing healing, preventing growth, preventing the real blossoming of this garden for you. And I want you to comment ready if you're stepping into this energy, if you're ready to do this. Okay. Tell me that you're releasing this anchor and that you intend to release this anchor through whatever sort of method is appropriate for you in this situation that's healthy and safe and responsible and all that stuff, of course. Perhaps it is a recognition of your worth again. Perhaps it is you realizing that you have to tend to your garden, and that's the only way you're going to be able to tend to the garden outside of you, the garden of your relationships or your business or your physical health or your family's health or, whatever it is. Whatever this external garden is, okay? And maybe the Seven of Pentacles is that internal garden that needs to be addressed, needs to be looked at, there needs to be some cultivation here. Yeah. I want you to claim this timeline. The Prince of Wands, is in the position of the fear, worry, and concern. Because I think that this is a situation that has blocked you from really being completely merged with your true self, for one thing. But also, it seems like it's been preventing you from really picking up speed and gaining the momentum or the consistency in your life. Because again, I feel like with the Seven of Pentacles, you reach a certain point and then things kind of tend to break down. This is basically like that. Once you come up to a certain speed, once you make a certain amount of progress, something goes wrong. It's like you're driving a car. As soon as you hit 55 miles an hour, something weird happens, but it doesn't transport you to the past or the future. The car just kind of breaks down. It stalls out for some reason, yeah. So something needs to be kind of fixed or addressed. Something needs to be looked at and given the attention that it needs. Because this is the card of consistency. This is the card of being able to commit for the long haul, being able to persevere. So it may be that, you begin things with a lot of enthusiasm, but after the initial rush wears off, it kind of tends to fizzle out, and then it never really goes anywhere from there. Okay? So I think what you're really trying to evoke from yourself is the staying power, is the longevity, the consistency over the long journey. Okay, this is that kind of cruise control card. The fool likes to get in the car and set the cruise control and just enjoy the ride. Yeah, and I think that something's been preventing you from really doing that. Something's been sabotaging things after we go a certain distance. It's like every experiment, every time you do it at that same same point, things break down. And what we're looking to do is persevere past that point, to be able to, well, okay, we're still going, you know. And so I think of like a race car or something. As soon as it gets to a certain speed, it stalls out, and everyone's like scratching their head, like, why is the car doing that, you know? So I think what's going on now is that you're going to address this. You're going to free yourself from this anchor, right? And the next time you begin something, the next time you take that leap, this is a Knight of Wands. This is all about beginnings, okay? You're leaping into something. Now it's kind of like you're running the experiment again. And I'm going to go ahead and say that this next time that you do this, it's going to keep going. This is going to be the last time that you have to kind of, you know, start your engine and start off the line and pick up speed. This is the card of kind of leaping into something with full trust, full commitment, no hesitation. The Five of Swords feels like there may be something that goes wrong at the very beginning, and that kind of doesn't really cause the problem until you get to a certain point in the relationship, you see? So it's not like everything's fine at the beginning, then suddenly at a certain point things go bad. I feel like there's something that's kind of, something that's not right from the very start. Yeah. And so I think the resolution here, the letting go, the forgiveness, whatever you got to do, the closure, is going to allow you to have this sort of perfect start, where the horse and the rider are one unit. There's no distrust. There's no self-sabotage. There's no second-guessing, no questioning. Okay? When doubt gets in there, separates the horse from the rider. When there is mistrust, the horse doesn't trust the rider doesn't trust the horse, guess what? You're going to fall down. Man, it's going to hurt. Okay? And you don't know when you're going to fall down, but you will, right? So, well, maybe now you're able to predict when it's going to happen. So this kind of, and the horse and the rider, obviously you and your impulse, you and your will, you and your body even, right? You and this kind of instinct, your conscious mind and this rush of energy that is in you, okay? And so trusting in, and maybe it literally is trusting kind of the other person, and trusting your, kind of like trusting your instinct to trust somebody else, you know, trusting that what you're leaping into is right and there's no doubt, there's no hesitation, there's no worries. Okay. So this is the next kind of step for you. I think once this gets resolved, this can really happen in a complete way. And I think that you're going to find the consistency and the longevity will be there. Okay. Something that's happening for the long haul. Okay. I want you to claim this reading. I want you to hit that like button. I guarantee, hit that like button. This is probably going to be the last time, okay, that this situation interferes in your life. Once you let it go, this is going to be pure ignition, okay, for what's coming next for you. Let's look at the mystery card, yeah? I kind of expect a 4. I think a 4 of anything would be good, but I also kind of want to see like something further down the line for our beginning here. I want to see like a 9 of Cups. You know, I want to see some good water energy, some good love energy, because another thing about the reading, right, there's not a lot of water energy here. There's water energy, but it feels like it's been kind of blocked. Okay? The active elements here don't really get along well with the water energy. Okay? And so I kind of want to see a little bit more water to balance things out. And I especially want to feel like, you know, releasing yourself of this anchor and then trusting your forward movement as you kind of get involved, you ignite a new process or a new relationship or whatever it is going to lead to some really wonderful and amazing things for you. I want to see what comes after our Knight of Wands there. I want to see some water energy. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments section below the video. Okay, let's see what we have. The 10, well, yeah. I guess that's more appropriate. Because I was saying I want to see what comes after the Knight of Wands, right? And of course, Spirit, right on the nose, taking me literally, what does the Knight of Wands look at? I say all the knights, right, are looking into the future. The Knight of Wands is looking at the Ten of Wands, of course. Just as the Knight of Cups is looking at the Ten of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles is looking at the Ten of Pentacles, looking at the whole road, looking at the future, right? The Knight of Wands is beginning that path, that energetic path, and you're able to see, now you're able to see yourself traveling the distance, going the distance. Yeah? And so that is really a confirmation of what we've been saying, that, you know, usually the Knight of Wands will leap into something, but then after a few steps, the car breaks down. But not this time. This time you're going all the way. You're going all the way through. The Ten of Wands, right, being the last of the cards of the suit of wands. But it's really open-ended. So it's Spirit's way of saying, this is something that you can keep going forever and ever and ever if you wanted to. There's no limit here. And so it really is the confirmation of what we were saying about your superpower card, the Prince of Wands. That what you're trying to do is find that commitment and that longevity and that perseverance for the long haul. Well, if anything represents a long haul, it's going to be this combination. Yeah. So beautifully expressed by Spirit with this confirmation card. Now we're going to do an extended reading as well. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There is a link in the corner. There's a link right below the video. Okay. New readings for Leo, Mondays and Thursdays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.